Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Holy cow, this is a big fish. What is this? What's going on, everybody? Nick from 618 Fishing here, and welcome back to another episode of the Antique Lure Challenge. To make this series a little more interesting, starting today, I'll be throwing these antique lures on vintage fishing tackle. I am heading to a park that I had no idea even existed until this guy named Dan hit me up on Instagram saying that there's a pond with pretty decent bass there. I'm at the park, but to get to the pond, there's actually a pretty decent walk. So I'm heading out there now. I'm really excited to see what's out here. Just made it out to the pond, and holy smokes, you guys, this place looks unbelievable. But I'm probably a little bit more excited about this tackle. I bought this vintage fishing rod off of eBay, along with this vintage spinning reel. And this spinning reel is very special because it's one of the very first ultralight fishing reels. Ultralight fishing wasn't very popular, and it really wasn't around until I think the 60s. So this was one of the very first ultralight fishing reels, and this thing was not cheap. In the early 60s, it was over $30, which after inflation is about $300 today. So this was a very, very expensive reel. Now, as far as the lure goes, I'll be using a very cool lure. I did not know this lure even existed. I found it on eBay. It's made by Rebel. They don't make it anymore, so I had to pay a little extra for it. It was $20 on eBay. Let's see if I can catch some fish today. All right, here we go. All right, it cast it pretty far. Oh my gosh, I just got it. All right, so this new line is freaking out on me. Let's try that again. All right, I'm getting some really good distance. Oh, fish on. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yes, first fish with this antique vintage setup. I ended up changing over to this little antique spinner. Caught my first fish with this old setup. See you later, buddy. For how old it is, this reel is in surprisingly good shape, and it is performing very well today. This rod is taking a little getting used to. It's pretty much just one big floppy rod, so casting is a little difficult, but the reel I'm really digging. This pond is actually a pretty unique shape. Where I started is just a vast open area, but it actually channels through this little section right here behind me into another cove. So I am actually at the opening to this channel. I'm gonna cast around right here and see if there's any fish hanging out. I've moved around quite a bit, but there is still an area of this pond that looks very fishy, but I have not been there yet. So I'm gonna head there now and hopefully turn this day around. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Holy cow, this is a big fish. Oh, holy cow. What is this? Oh, I think it's a catfish. Holy smokes. Please stay on. This dude feels like a monster on this setup. Oh yeah, it's a catfish. Yes! Holy smokes. What a cool looking catfish. That was awesome to catch this on this really old vintage setup with this vintage spinner. That was incredible. See you later, buddy. It's taken quite some time, but I was finally able to catch another fish using this vintage ultralight setup, and it was a nice catfish. I think that's the 4th catfish I've caught this year on ultralight lures, but that one in particular was pretty difficult to bring in on this old setup, but it did get the job done. So I'm gonna keep fishing. That was awesome. So I'm guessing these catfish just got done spawning because there are a ton of baby catfish up next to the bank, and I caught that first one while reeling it towards a group of the baby ones. So I'm thinking I'm gonna try to replicate that and see if I can catch another one. Oh, fish on. What is this? Oh, it's a crappie. Yes. Awesome. I was not expecting to catch one of these. It's a pretty decent one too. See you later, buddy. It's safe to say that this location that I'm at now is doing a lot better than where I started. So I'm gonna switch back to that Rebel crankbait and see if I can catch something in this part of the pond. All right, here we go with the Rebel crankbait. Oh, fish on. No, it's off, darn. I did not have any luck with that crankbait, so I switched back over to this spinner. Oh, fish on. Oh my gosh, a green sunfish, no way. 4 different species today. I caught a bluegill, a catfish, a crappie, now a green sunfish. That is so cool. See you later, buddy. All right, guys, I'm gonna switch back to that crankbait because I think it'll do pretty well along these rocks. Oh, shoot, it just broke off. Oh, no way. Where in the world did it go? Oh, here it is, yes. Oh my gosh. I thought I just lost a $20 crankbait. I'm glad I didn't cast into the middle of the pond or else I'd probably be swimming right now. Fish on. Oh, he's off, darn. I've been fishing with this vintage setup for about 5 hours today, and there are some things that I like and dislike about it. As far as the reel goes, I actually really like this reel, even though it's 50, 60 years old. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, that feels like a nice one. Ooh, that's a nice bluegill. Awesome. Well, that was perfect timing. See you later, buddy. Anyways, like I was saying, I am a huge fan of this little ultralight reel. So there's really only one dislike, and that's that clicking sound. For the anti-reverse to, oh, there's a fish. Oh my gosh, no way. All right, well, like I was saying, the only real dislike is that anti-reverse. For it to work, I have to listen to that clicking. So to disable it, I just push this button in and it goes silent, but the reel also goes in reverse. But it seems to still do an okay job. But holy smokes, that's 2 casts in a row. I've had a fish go after my lure. What is going on now? Fishing was actually starting to get pretty slow. I am actually able to get some really good distance using these light lures with this rod, but I am not a fan of how flimsy it is. The ability to cast these light lures definitely comes at a cost because this thing is very flimsy, and I'm just not a huge fan of it, but it definitely seems to work. Oh, there's a nice fish. All right, maybe not as big as the rod made it feel, but little bluegill. See you later, buddy. All right, guys, so here is the situation. I have been out here for about 5 or 6 hours. That entire time, I I'm not drinking any water because I forgot to bring water. I know, smart move. So that's that is the current situation. I have fished for as long as I can, but I am officially dying of thirst, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it. As far as this vintage 60-year-old ultralight setup goes, I thought it was a lot of fun, especially bringing in that nice sized catfish. It put up a really good fight on this old vintage tackle. So let me know what you guys think about these old setups. I have a couple more that I'd like to put to the test, but I definitely had a lot of fun today. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I will catch you on the next one. I am all rigged up and I am very excited to see how this vintage 60-plus-year-old setup performs. All right, first cast. Whoa, okay. That was a fail.